Alrighty, what is up, folks? My name is Melvin, and welcome. Glad to see you here. Glad to see you doing exceptionally well on this place that we call the internet. Now, today I am going to argue my perspective. And the reason for that is I've just felt like life just hasn't been going my way just as of recent. All right? Even though everything's been staying the same, just my life, my headspace just hasn't been going that way. It was for a while. There was actually a period of time like right before New Year's where I was feeling great. I was feeling fantastic. But just for whatever reason, I wasn't feeling as good. And I think it's just cuz I haven't been kind of my core philosophy. I just haven't been focusing on it, and I want that to change. So I'm trying to reel that back in and just kind of explain to you guys like just what's important to me. All right, I'm just like fading out of existence. It's so weird. I wonder if maybe I don't know. I don't know why I'm fading out of existence. It usually does a good job of doing that, but not recently. Anyways, so let's start with the number one, and this is actually one of the more recent just things that's been helping me a lot. But just keep things simple, okay? Life is just really, really complicated, okay? It's not just you, all right? It's not just old people not knowing how to use their smartphones. Life is just genuinely becoming more complicated. We have to learn that, understand that, and learn to reel it back in. Learn to keep things simple. Learn to just figure out what your core philosophies are and focus on them and learn. The one caveat about keeping things simple is you have to reward the simplicity, okay? Because if you don't, you are going to fall back to your ways. So you have to reward the simplicity. You have to reward when you do things simple, okay? Because I understand you want to have a side hustle. You want to do as much as you can. Like I'm doing that right now. I'm trying to make content for you guys every day for the month of January. I'm not even halfway there. So I get it. I totally get, and I totally understand. But the thing is, you have to learn to keep things simple. You have to learn what in your lives you need to keep simple. And then just when I say that, keep things simple, what does that mean? What does that mean, keep things simple? Essentially, the main thing is when you are going through your day, just keep certain questions in your mind, okay? So, what kind of emotions do you want to have? What kind of what kind of vibes do you want? And just continuously reminding yourself that that is your goal. That is just what it is. So, for me, I'm trying to get back into whenever I am trying to whenever I'm at work. I'm just reminding myself like, am I happy? Am I in a good place? Was I nice to the customer? I'm just trying to keep all of that in mind, okay? And if it's yes, I have to reward myself for it. I got to keep that kind of going. And keep the simple things, because when you keep things simple, you can eventually make it more complicated if you want. You can eventually complicate the situation. You can build on top of it. But when life gets complicated, we got to learn to reel things back in a little bit. We got to learn to kind of take a step back, and just kind of figure out where we want these pieces to fit in, okay? So think of it just kind of like a puzzle piece that, doesn't fit, they all just kind of have a place. That's kind of the very important to keep in mind. I kind of want to talk about this a little bit. I've never really made a video about this, and I don't know why. Fairness. So I've always grown up with the idea of fairness. I loved the idea of fairness because I felt like that kind of made sense. I looking at it now, life is totally not fair. Like life is, for the most part, life really is random. You don't know what you're gonna get. You don't know how you're gonna take advantage of things. But I think it's important to be fair. I think that's important, and I'll tell you why. I think here's why I think it's important, okay? And I'll tell you how I use it in my everyday life. So I think fairness puts you in check and it puts other people in check and it has you put other people in check, but not in a bad way. I'm not saying that you're micromanaging them. All I'm saying is if someone calls you out on how you've been acting, how you've been treating other people, you should look at it and say, yeah, that's fair. I should kind of rework that. If you were mean to a friend, family member, I think, yeah, you should kind of make up for that. You know, you should kind of give back. And I think when other people have been nothing but nice to you, nothing but calm to you, and nothing but friendly to you, I think it's good to reward that because that's fair. They put the work into it, and I think you should reward how they treated you, their good behavior, you know? And I think if people were the opposite to you, if they didn't treat you with respect, then yeah, I think it's also fair to not want to work with them, not want to do things with them. I don't know. That's like meritocracy, isn't it? That's kind of like what it is. But I think it's just important that even when things aren't fair, you should try to be fair. You should try to be rational. For the simple reason that I think it's good to know someone is looking at that. Someone's looking at your behavior and giving you compliments for it. Whenever I'm working, because I work in customer service, whenever I'm working with a customer, I always try my hardest to congratulate them and thank them when they've been a kind customer. They've been nothing but pleasant. Because yes, I do have unpleasant customers on a regular basis, in fact. But I also have great customers on a regular basis. I never bring them up. I never talk about them. I talk about the bad ones. But I have good ones. I have great ones, actually. There are customers that are just nothing but kind. They've bought me food. They've given reviews and awards, all that stuff. They've done that. I think when there's fairness, I think it's just good. It just helps you keep everything in place as much as you can. I think it's good practice to do. All right. I'm trying to think of like one more. I think this one might be controversial, but let's find out. It should be. I think it's everyone's job to be optimistic. I think that's something that's very important as well. Um, it's really, really easy to fall in a huge rabbit hole where this is you, okay, and then this is a bunch of shit just falling from the sky into this pit, like directly on top of you. That's you right there. You've been in this situation before where nothing but shit has just fallen on top of you. And it sucks. It's not a great feeling. And I think that since we've all been in that situation, wouldn't we have loved if someone gave us a more pleasant perspective? If someone gave us a more kind perspective? If someone tried to show us kind of the brighter side of things? Because imagine if you're in this situation and no one's there to help you. No one's there to even kind of even I don't know. No one even like. And the thing is, I think what makes some people scared of optimism is that they don't want it to sound fake. They don't want it to sound disingenuous. And to my argument, I think it should just come with practice. You should that should try to be more natural. You know, Like I said, we've all been in this situation. Wouldn't we have loved if someone, after coming out of this pit, smelling like shit, smelling like feces, saying to yourself, all right, you're going to have a shower, and then a few days from now, you're going to forget about the pain that it caused you. You're going to move on. And then you're going to say to yourself, nah, I'm not going to move on. That was painful. That sucked. And then a few days later, you're like, yeah, I guess they were right. I guess it really wasn't that bad, and I can move on. I think I think there should always be someone batting on the side of everything's going to be okay. Maybe it won't be, but I think it's just good to practice those things, okay? And you should be that kind of person for the one person that doesn't have anyone like that in their life. So I think it is everyone's job to be optimistic, not because I think everyone's going to be, but because you might become that one person that becomes more optimistic for other people. I have had situations in my life where my optimism made people's lives better, and I wasn't even trying to. In fact, I'm embarrassed to even like say that, because it's like, what did I do to make the situation better or more special or just easier? What did I do? I'm just Melvin. What did I do? But it's powerful. It really is powerful. So yeah, I think it should just be everyone's job to be more optimistic. Maybe the situation itself is not great, but you should learn to argue all the better things in life, or better things about other people. Learning to pick out the good qualities that other people have. Some people don't have those kinds of people in their lives, and I think it's important to try to be that person. Anyways, thank you very much. I will try to come up with more of a list, but these three are just kind of always in my head, right? Anyways, thank you so much. You guys take care. Have a great rest of your day.